Hey, Rex the dog here. If you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing it. I'd really like to kind of get a little bit of community going here. So if you want to subscribe, that'd be really fucking cool. Drop a like, drop a comment so I can talk to you. If you want to talk a little bit more than that, I think there's a link to my Twitter in the channel page, in the details, the about, whatever. But in the description of this and every video, I'm putting a link to the Telegram channel. So there's a group there where we can talk, we can chat, whatever. Anyway, back at it again. And, you know, as I've said before, the intention was always to kind of, you know, at least for, you know, a few months to be posting videos here every day. And I'm finding that kind of challenging to do. Now, I'm somebody who does actually have, like, a lot of free time. I work part-time. I live quite comfortably. But the amount of projects and activities and goals and, you know, events and whatever, I mean, it's quite a lot going on. And so the balance of kind of trying to sort of, like, do all these lofty goals you have, it's difficult, you know? At the moment, I'm trying to set up a new business. At the moment, I'm getting really addicted to Magic the Gathering, so I'm playing a lot of that. A big thing at the moment is my marathon prep. So for my next marathon, I've really sort of totally redesigned, you know, with the help of my coaches, you know, how my training's happening. Because there's a lot of sports and disciplines I practice. You know, I've got my kickboxing, I've got my skateboarding, I've got, you know, weightlifting, I've got bouldering, rock climbing, you know, I've got running as well. So I've got, like, quite a lot of different things that I've got sort of going on. And so I've had to sort of restructure that in a way that I'm not hurting my legs, because that's something that happens when I start running a lot, I'm skateboarding a lot, I'm kickboxing a lot, I'm lifting heavy, you know, like these big squats and stuff like that. It takes a toll and my legs kind of collapse because I'm hyperactive and I'm not exactly, like, planning these correctly with the correct rest. So we've kind of reformatted how we're doing that. The whole idea is I've got, like, you know, this anchor of this heavy leg day, you know, every week to try and build up strength in the legs so I don't get it hurt, or gives a less chance of being hurt, you know, when I'm running those 42 kilometers. Either side of that's protected from running, so I'll be doing some of my other sports on those days. And then the remaining 4 days, a couple of easy runs, one of them pretty long distance, and hill running and interval running days. So the other two being hill run and interval run. So I can kind of build up that anaerobic base of, you know, just like the strength, putting the power in, working the heart, that sort of thing, like way above the regular sort of zone 2 cardio that the other two continuous runs would definitely be categorized as. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really hyped about that. I do want to document that journey as well, and some of the stuff that's going to be going along with that. You know, at the moment, I've kind of low-key inherited a run club in my city, so I'm going to sort of be running that for the next few weeks while, you know, some of the, you know, like the founders and stuff of this club are away, so I'm going to kind of keep that ticking over. There's a lot going on, you know, going to concerts, you know, going to these Magic events now. Still trying to get in time for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. What's X-Men 97 this week, and I fucking loved it. I thought that was great. Thoughts on that maybe coming soon. But it's finding this sort of balance, right, of all these different things I want to do. I want to grow these businesses I'm working on so I've got more time for myself. I want to work on this channel and work on this community so I kind of, like, engage with this, you know, this furry side of stuff and get talking to you guys. You know, I'm getting into the Magic community. I'm, like, completely redefining my training for my next big physical challenge, being the next marathon that I'm doing. And then also kind of, like, helping, you know, bring a community around that in the running community for the run club and stuff like that. And, you know, never mind just my general, like, you know, events going on in the city and, you know, love, like, networking and stuff like that. So there's like a lot going on, and trying to fit all this stuff in, I'm gonna have to work out how I do it, right? And I think it's kind of step by step. Like, I think this new training plan, how we've reformatted this so I can still be, you know, exercising twice a day. I can still be going, like, you know, doing, you know, like, you know, my gym workouts. I've got my runs. I go skateboarding. You know, I go to kickboxing classes. I go bouldering. You know, I've got this thing sort of all mixed together. So I can still be, you know, waking up first thing and exercising, fitting some stuff in later on, getting some trigger exercises in, some trigger workouts as well, just to keep it kind of get that pump and that, you know, anabolic signal. So that feels really like fucking sorted now. I think the next thing I'm really going to prioritize is working out the stuff that I'm doing with some of my... I work part-time in a few things. It's by choice because I want this sort of freedom of time to work on these other things. These businesses and things I'm developing at the moment, I think I'm going to focus on them, structure how, when and where I'm going to work on those every week. And then that'll leave me some time to work out when and where I'm going to focus on this channel and focus on hopefully growing this and talking to you guys and getting more involved in the furry community. I guess my question here, you know, which is coming, you know, however many minutes, 6 minutes into this video, whatever the hell it is how do you find this balance of kind of like, you know, I'm not saying you're doing all these same things I'm doing, but in terms of like, you know, being active in whether that's communities, fandoms, you know, stuff like that, and the other parts of your life, you know? Because like these sorts of things, especially like in online spaces, I've never been this huge online guy, you know? I'm kind of like out there doing things, and I like using social media as sort of like a tool to like, you know, kind of log things I'm thinking sometimes. I go off and on it. But I'm not really like this big, like, you know, chat room guy, group guy. It's all been like really fast paced for me in terms of I just felt I personally couldn't keep up. So I'm wondering, how do you guys keep up? How do you, like, I know some people are like real loppers and they like live the furry life, however you define that. But how are you guys kind of like fitting stuff together? And yeah, I'm just sort of curious about that. How people sort of construct their lives, construct their days. Do you have a routine? I feel for someone like me who does have like a lot of goals and intentions and things that I want to do, the routine is really important, because if I do leave it to chance, then only a small section of that's going to happen. And I feel that the way I'm talking is potentially overwhelming a listener. So you can see how that kind of like, it's lofty what I want to do. And that's why I really do need to structure that time. That's really I need to build up these businesses so I've got kind of like more income with freedom so I can fill it with this stuff. So I can be like, you know, playing in these tournaments, you know, competing in sporting events, training my body, training my mind and learning new things. And interacting and meeting different people, whether that's in the furry community or whether that's in, you know, through sport or fighting game community. I like to go to events for those, or Magic the Gathering, or just kind of like general sort of like, you know, after work drinks where you sort of, you know, meeting different people from different walks of life and stuff like that. You know, to kind of fit in all those different things and those networking and those socializings and those meeting and learning and sharing and giving. And taking. It's hard to find that balance, and I wonder if you guys do it. Do you have that balance, or do you struggle with it as well? Or are there things where, like, you know that part of your life is lacking, like, oh, I don't give like that social time because I have to, or I choose to, or I improperly focus, or whatever the reason, so much on that, be it work or be it, you know, be it sports or games. I know, I'm just wondering how you all balance it. I'm wondering how it all balances. Because, you know, whenever you're online, you are getting sort of these warped snapshots of people's lives, and you don't really get the true insight until, you know, you get in a situation where you can both be honest with each other. So I'm kind of curious about that. I hope to be back soon. I mean, whether I record something tomorrow, I don't know, because tomorrow's going to be a kind of big day. But I want to get back to you guys soon. I want to start talking about, you know, this whole damn list of topics that I have. And I really hope that when I do talk about them, I get a little bit of interaction back. Because I think I've said this before in a previous video. One of the main reasons I've got this is to talk about things that I don't necessarily have an opportunity to talk about in my life. I have some things I'm quite interested in, and I don't particularly have people in my life who are interested in them in the same level that I am. So it would be really cool to kind of connect with people, hear their points of views, even if they're like radically different. I mean, that's super interesting to me, for just more perspective. I don't know. And it's fun to have an excuse to, put on the... I don't know. That's me out. Take care, everybody. As I said, if you haven't, subscribed and all that jazz, it would be fucking appreciated. Peace out.